Andrew Garfield has confirmed that he will be returning for The Amazing Spider-Man 3. Maybe. Hey everybody, welcome to Twin Talk. I'm your host, Chris Hart. Before we begin today, be sure to check out our channel, where me and my twin brother Kevin drink and draw, talk about comic books, movies, all things pop culture. We do episode-by-episode reactions, trailer reactions, spoiler-filled movie reviews, as well as time-lapse drawings of characters from different things in film and TV, cartoons, whatever we're covering that week. If you're into sci-fi, fantasy, superheroes, comics, cartoons, anything, be sure to check out our channel and subscribe if you like what you see. Back in 2014, I personally was a little bit disappointed when Sony decided to move on and cancel the Amazing Spider-Man franchise. I felt that director Mark Webb did the best he could at the time, considering that he had messy and weak scripts to deal with and lackluster villain plots. Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone shined as their respective roles of Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy. You really bought into the chemistry of them, and their romance and emotional drama and heart that they all brought to it was superb. Director Mark Webb had plans for a third film and a fourth installment if he was given the opportunity to bring back Harry Osborn as the Green Goblin and set up future things like the Sinister Six and a Venom movie. Andrew Garfield has always been my favorite Spider-Man, especially since that first official image that Sony dropped back in 2012, where it shows him in the alley with the backpack and the rips from the lizard. I always thought that was so badass and very modern. That's how I always envisioned Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield really has the look to me. He's tall, lanky, more comedic. It reminds me a lot of Todd McFarlane or Humberto Ramos' drawings of Spider-Man, and that's what I prefer from my Spider-Man. And despite being in the weaker of the Spider-Man franchises, Andrew Garfield really shines bright as Spider-Man and Peter Parker. I think he brings a lot of levity to the character, a lot of charm, heart, and emotional drama. He's a very good actor. I just watched Tick, Tick, Boom recently, and just reminded me how good of an actor that Andrew Garfield actually is. So when I saw him in Spider-Man No Way Home, I was freaking out, because watching Tick, Tick, Boom, I was like, oh man, they really missed the opportunity to use this guy in his role as Spider-Man. So I was so hyped in the theater when Andrew came through that portal. In the multiverse, I couldn't be happier. I was screaming and clapping, damn near crying at that time. So I was super happy about that, especially since there was a lot of resentment towards Sony when they canceled the franchise, because I felt he was such a good Spider-Man and they just left his story arcs just out in the wild. Spider-Man No Way Home did a great job of finishing those story threads that were left hanging in the air, in the ether. We got some closure to some things, like we even saw him saving MJ. Very short, but you got the gist of it. Very emotionally impactful. So yeah, it was really nice seeing Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man again in No Way Home. Seeing him revisited, some of the storylines revisited, wrapped up nicely with a little bow, and just some closure for the overall experience of him as the Amazing Spider-Man. But seeing him in a Spider-Man role again has a lot of fans thinking, yeah, maybe they screwed him, maybe he got the short end of the stick, and he never got the true finish, the swan song, if you will, for his franchise. There's a lot of circulation going on right now that fans want him back. They had the hashtag Make the Amazing Spider-Man 3, which I would love, because now that you've set up the multiverse, why not? You're making so much money with this Disney-Sony merger. You can now have these things coexist at the same time. Bring back Tobey for Spider-Man 4. Andrew Garfield spoke to Variety this week, and when asked if he would reprise the role, he said, I mean, yes, definitely open to something if it felt right. Peter and Spider-Man, those characters are all about service, to the greater good and the many. He's a working class boy from Queens that knows struggle and loss and is deeply empathetic. I would try to borrow Peter Parker's ethical framework in that. If there was ever an opportunity to step back in and tell more of that story, I would have to feel very sure and certain in myself. So there's some hope. He's obviously given fans some hope that he would return as the Amazing Spider-Man if it felt right, if the script was done right. Obviously, you don't want to walk back into the role coming off of how well received you were in No Way Home to have another flop like the Amazing Spider-Man 2. And speaking about his role as Spider-Man in No Way Home, he goes on to say, I am so grateful. I'm just really, really grateful that I got to tie up some loose ends for the Peter that I was playing. I love that character, and I'm grateful that I got to work with these incredible actors, this incredible director, speaking of John Watts, and Marvel in conjunction with Sony. It was joyful and a feeling of closure for me. There was so many unanswered questions for my Peter, where we left it. I got to step back in and get some healing for him, and also really supporting Tom Holland's Peter and honoring his character and completing his trilogy, not distracting or detracting from it. So we see that Andrew's not being selfish as if he's taking over for Tom Holland. We see that he loves the character. We knew that when they casted him back in 2011. He just loves the character of Peter Parker and Spider-Man. For him to come back would be huge for me because I feel like he's the best Spider-Man. I think he's the best looking Spider-Man we have. He's the best blend of practical and CGI. Even in No Way Home, you can tell some of his shots are the most practical and most tangible. His suit is so beautiful. It's perfect. It's ripped right from the comic books. And I think he's the best Spider-Man we've ever had. So I would love if Andrew Garfield came back for Amazing Spider-Man 3. As far as what the contents of a potential Amazing Spider-Man 3 would be, who knows? But I remember back before the whole MCU stuff, they had plans for maybe having Oscorp finding a cure for cancer, and that would be the symbiote Venom. So that was a different take. I kind of liked it. It felt more like Ultimate Spider-Man, like, okay, it's different from the Amazing Spider-Man lore, but it might just crazy enough to work. I would buy into it. If it's not going to be an alien, Oscorp doing a cure for cancer sounds about right to me. And obviously Sony's been pushing the bill for the Sinister Six for years. They've wanted a solo film of the Sinister Six for so long that they, to their detriment, failed the franchises before this. Now that they potentially have 2 or 3 Spider-Man movie franchises going at a time, if they want, they could do it. But if they were to do this, I could definitely see them doing some a Venom storyline with Tom Hardy, considering that his movies are successful. Not my cup of tea, but if you're going to do it, I would like to see Tom Hardy and Andrew Garfield have a go at it. Their versions of Spider-Man and Venom would be pretty cool to see them either team up or fight against each other, whatever it is. Sinister Six would be awesome too. Why not? You have these toys, you have the rights to these characters, you got the multiverse, you've set it all up. You have so much money, more money than God, so do what you can, but just make us fans happy. It's all about fan service, not cheap fan service, because No Way Home is fan service, the movie, but it's done so well that we just love it up. But don't treat us like we're cattle or something. Give us fans that respect the source material, what we want, and we'll love you for it, and we'll show you our love by giving you our money straight from our wallets. But again, this is just me. I would be hella excited if Andrew Garfield came back. The question is, what do you guys think about this? Are you excited? Do you think they should just leave it alone? He got a nice little closure in Spider-Man No Way Home. Don't touch it, don't taint it again. Or are you excited to see him maybe come back? So we'll see what happens. Again, guys, check out our channel, Twin Talk, where me and my twin brother drink and draw, discuss comic books, movies, all things pop culture. We love this stuff. We love drawing these characters. We are artists. So check out our time-lapse drawings of different characters. We did a whole Spider-Man series. You can check all those videos out, show them some love. Thank you guys for watching, and be on the lookout for more content. Peace!